is going to process this payment, and different customer ID, contact can their payments. Another example is the budget construction. Many people might not be familiar with how the budget construction works, but in budget construction, a BC processor role is able to manage budgets for a specific organization, and organizations in its subtree based upon the organization reports to table. So you're defining your org hierarchy within the budget construction. You define the highest org that the person is responsible for as the role qualifier. For instance, if the user is a budget preparer for the entire HR division, she or he might also have to prepare a budget for employee relations, benefits, and training departments, or whatnot. So what you have to do is define the highest organization in the BC processor qualifier. So this is how you would do this. This is where you're going to plug in the highest chart and org that the person, the budget preparer, should be responsible for. And when you access the budget construction selection menu and go to budget account list search organization selection menu, you're going to be able to then see your point of view from organizational tree structure. All of a sudden, because my highest org is IUNIV, I can see everything that reports up to that organization. And you can select which organization I want to work with, and then access the budget construction document. This is the screenshot from a budget construction. Now you can see right away within the drop-down menu the level of the organization hierarchy. In this case, because I'm at the highest level, university level, I can see that level 3 is the Bloomington campus, 2 is the ARSC org, 1 is the psychology, and the 0 is the account level. And you can push down and pull up the document according to the organization hierarchy tree. The last example that I want to speak about would be the security enforced by Kim. We could define, we can mask certain sensitive information using the masking feature of KFS. For instance, there is a role called tax identification number user, role number 59.
49.
Oh, sorry, 49 if I can count. This can unmask tax IDs and modify tax number on AR customer and pro-rap vendors. So let's see how that works. This is the role for tax identification number user. You can see the list of the names who can unmask the sensitive tax ID. Notice that first one is the applicant.
Right, and the other thing to also notice is this is similar to the other ones where we had extra columns that had qualifiers. This one does not. In this case, there's no qualification other than just users are added to the role.
So let's log in as applicant. Notice that in the midway there is a tax number and it's a clear text. I am able to see the tax number. That's okay. And then let's go as somebody else. I am now Hegel. This person does not have the role 49. And so if you look at the exact same field, it's masked. So this is how you protect your sensitive information.
And you know, even though we're looking at everything so far is very specific to KFS, because it's using the nervous system, a lot of this is handled through the data dictionary. So it's not like this is all very custom code that's very specific to KFS. It can be used, the same types of techniques are identical if you're creating your own application taking advantage of the nervous system in KIM.
So earlier we talked about the fact that we can have a front end that can mask all these complexities behind the scenes in RISE. And our Smart Access Security project is one of the examples. Similar to organization review document that's available today, the Access Security module is a front end to KIM, which creates permissions, roles, role members, and role qualifiers using KIM API. And further, we implement those field-level permissions in the KFS. So what we have done is that we, first of all, created the front end, and two, to create the hooks into KFS. We launched this project in spring of 2008, for those who might be able to recall. Then we suspended the project while the RISE team was developing KIM, because there was no reason for us to duplicate the effort, and we might come up with something that's not compatible. After the KFS 3.0 and RISE 1.0 were released, we resumed the effort in the fall of 2009 and began testing earlier this year. We haven't finished the coding, but we're in a testing cycle, and so we'll be able to show you a little bit of what we are working on. The initial requirements were gathered from the partner institutions that were interested in access security, such as CSU, UC, USC, Cornell, and University of Hawaii. So,
well, one thing I'd add is the real driver behind creating this mod was some of the complexity related to KIM. KIM is incredibly powerful. It's very flexible. There's just so much you can do. But to really take advantage of it, you have to, you really have to go through a fair amount of training and quite a bit of work to really take advantage of that power. So what we wanted to create is a front end to that to simplify using it, and not just for KFS, although that's what initially this is designed for. So we'll jump into it and show it to you, but that's really the driver behind it, is just simplification of using KIM. Everything that this module does really just modifies KIM tables for you. It's not like it's adding on a huge extra layer. It's really just to simplify.
So the access security concept, there are three components. One is the security attributes. And this defines a set of attributes that we can place the security from the requirement gathering that we have done that I talked about. And I just forgot to mention that there was a URL for the conference page at the foundation. If you'd like to read about the requirement gathering that we have done, it listed what the institutions wanted in tying down the information. Now, the security definition, on the other hand, defines the type of access security to be implemented at institutions. So, set number, list of attributes that we can use to create the security. Definitions is where, oh, now that I know there are a set number of attributes available, which ones do we want to implement on what screens or what functionality? And security models is where then how we're going to implement it. Do we want to put the, what values are we going to use? What organization code, what account number, and who is going to be assigned to that? So the second one is what, and the third one is how and who. So in essence, this is how it's going to work in a pictorial. Security attributes, again, list the set items that we can put the security on, such as chart, account, organization, object code, and so on. Security definition says, okay, at my institution, I want to use the chart as a security attribute. And what do we want to do? We want to restrict the edit accounting lines, restrict GL inquiry, and so forth. And the security model says, okay, now we know what we're going to implement. How are we going to do that? We're going to say, okay, chart equals Bloomington. Constraints should be allowed. And members are Tony, Cake, or Chuck. So now we said how and who. So let's just look at our test site. Oops, okay.
Jump over to it.
Jump over to it. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through our screens a little bit. So let's go to Administration tab. Security attributes. Oh, let's log in as admin. On the left-hand side corner, below Identity, there is a set of menus that we can use under Security, Attributes, Definition, and Model. So as I said, attribute is